Okay, why am I doing this to myself? Okay, I told myself I wasn't gonna talk to you again.
What? Hold up. Why? What did I do?
You showed up.
You don't even know me.
I don't want to know you, and you don't want to get to know me. Trust me.
The ending just left everything in the air and has everyone thinking, James, run after Anne-Marie, ask her about the medallion, wife her up, and is there going to be any more episodes? However, that wasn't the ending. It was actually James asking Christ in the Blessed Sacrament, is anyone there?
Is anybody there?
There's so many reasons to like this show, and because of that, EWTN just confirmed there's going to be more episodes. Essentially, there's going to be a season 2, and they are currently working on scripts, and obviously from the last 5 episodes, they have a sense of which direction they're going to take this. So hopefully it won't be too long before we get more. It's no surprise that more episodes are coming since this show was very well received. The show is great, and not just, well, with all the Catholic material we have, I guess it's as good as it can be. No, it's actually good. It's good on its own merit. The show wasn't poorly written. For one, it understands what the modern world believes and practices, and they demonstrate its errors in a very light and charitable way.
Don't be a mindless follower, and be your own leader. Repeat after me. I believe in myself. I believe in myself. I believe in...
And 2, it obviously wasn't just Catholic on the surface level, it was heavily seasoned with Catholicism. And 3, it's actually entertaining. I'm telling you, the show is good, and I'm actually excited for season 2. Now, I'm going to do a whole review of season 1, all 5 episodes, and it's going to be very quick because all of this was essentially just a pilot episode. But I'll go over all the Easter eggs and maybe some of the things that you might have missed. So that means I'll also go over the interpretation that they had for what the modern world thinks. And I'll point out some of the teachings of the faith that they were able to put in there. The show starts off with the introduction of James, and his job hunt. He's unable to secure a job or even an interview because of something he's posted on social media. Soon after, we meet Anne-Marie, who bumps into James on her way to Mass. She drops her Bible, books of St. Gianna, prayer card, and even her veil. Clearly, there's a spark between them, and it's made obvious James is not a Catholic in the least. By the end of the first episode, we find out he doesn't even believe in God and is actually an atheist. However, he applies to be a handyman at St. James Catholic Church. That's when we meet Father Burns, and it was clear something was wrong with him.
At least you're able, Mr. Little.
We later find out that he has stage 2 Parkinson's disease. The show does a good job demonstrating that people do believe in something, even if it's in themselves. Although James is an atheist, we see him religiously listen to gurus preaching the belief in self at all his work shifts. Speaking about his job, he's terrible at it. Soon after, Jonah introduces himself and asks St. Joseph to intercede for James, as he's the patron saint of workers. We cut away to James working by a statue of St. Joseph just as Anne-Marie goes to Mother Mary and opens her letter. She's not accepted into the religious life and abruptly leaves. Father Burns reappears, and we find out the reason James can't obtain a job is because he's been cancelled. The show pokes fun of how sensitive and ridiculous the world has become, because his reason for being cancelled was for wrongly assuming the gender and pronouns of Earth. Our planet Earth. Apart from the show being Catholic, it does demonstrate that it knows what the world believes. James eventually plugs a toilet and finds a medallion. I don't even know how that got there. He meets Frank, a homeless man, and they discuss how sensitive universities have become. James is perplexed by Frank's state in life after he finds out his educational background. James can't help but ask, how did he get there? Frank, the homeless man, simply states it was a result of believing in himself. And it makes you think, is Frank just a homeless man? After that, James decided to stop believing in himself and trashes the podcast he's kept around his neck like a chain. After being freed from that, it's now possible to fill the void. We see James and Anne-Marie speak again, however, he sees the medallion and storms off without any explanation. And something I really appreciate about the show is that James accompanies Anne-Marie to Mass and everyone receives the Eucharist in the mouth. Also, a small but insightful teaching moment for all you people who spent 30 plus minutes in the confessional. Father Burns makes it clear to James, that the confessional is not for venting, which is what many people use it for. However, if you need to speak to a priest, they are there for you. Just make a proper appointment. At the end, we see Mr. Little come full circle in the aspect of his job, and he does it adequately. I was actually surprised how they even managed to get the perpetual adoration in the show, and how they managed to briefly explain it very well. There was also a funny moment when he calls the next family to come sit in as he's ready to head out, and it's a huge Catholic family. By this time, Anne-Marie comes in again for her daily visit and has another conversation with Jimmy before leaving because she sees the medallion again, and after she saw it, she stormed off and left Jimmy. And on the way out, the last picture that we see with James and Anne-Marie is right beside St. Anthony. The end is very important because we know that James wants to go after Anne-Marie and solve any misunderstandings there might be, and she is his romantic interest. However, he doesn't do that because he's sitting watch with the Lord and actually goes to him and asks, "Is anyone there?" Which demonstrates where the focus of this show actually is. Honestly, I can still see them taking the story any which way because we have 5 episodes, but there's not really too much to them. So I could see James doing something like Father Stu, where he actually becomes a priest. However, I don't think they'll go that way. I mean, they could go anyway, but I do think James and Anne-Marie will end up together simply because the last shot that they have together is right beside St. Anthony, and St. Anthony is someone who people have prayed for a spouse. So the fact that the 3 of them are captured together at the very end, I think maybe will foreshadow them ending up together. However, they can do a lot with the show, and a lot has to be done before they even end up together, as we know, because James he's not a Christian, he's not Catholic, and he doesn't even have the sacraments. And there's also the big question about the medallion. I've actually thought about a few theories, but none of them at the end make any sense. So if you have a theory or if you have any thoughts about it, actually let me know, because I can't figure it out. I don't know what it means. Maybe the writers don't even know what it means. It just really doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand it. But anyways, I'm really excited for season 2 whenever that comes out. Hopefully it doesn't take too long, but I'm excited for it.
It's James.